try to throw the body. The usual answer comes from that hand. So when I throw, he'll throw a snap. When I come in, here. I just throw that up automatically. As I move in, I wait for any motion. As soon as I see any movement coming from an roll, the sword comes up here, then I'll try to counter with it. But I look to throw the counters before I've actually seen the blow coming. When I feel it start, when I feel him begin to start to move his body, if I step in like this, he's only got two places to go, really. He's going to go here, or he's going to try a cross shot. But if I'm moving in, the cross shot becomes weaker, because I'm starting to close on him to where his sword's going to slip. So his best shot's going to be a wrap or a counter or a cross snap to the head as I try to move on him. And I'm going to come in here, ready to take it. Pick it up here. Or if he throws a wrap, my arm just goes all the way around. You bring your wrap around the back, I bring it around and come through. Because I generally will throw this and come all the way around to the counter. Instead of coming in and going 1, 2, I'll go 1 and come off the other side. It just covers me around. Even if I don't know the blow's coming, and I've caught more shots than I could think of without realizing they were there, just by going here, and they throw the wrap, and it just rolls off the sword, just because it was automatically there. So with two swords, you can counter with one, strike with one, and you can be a lefty and a righty at the same time. No matter where his strong side is, I can play either flank. It doesn't make any difference. I can attack his outside here, I can attack his outside here, I can attack down the center, I can attack with wraps on either side. It doesn't really make any difference. I just have to look for where he's strong. And one thing people don't do enough of when they fight, they don't sit and watch people fight. You know, I watch people on sidelines and lists, and they're sitting there talking and talking, and the guy they got to fight next is fighting, and they're just not paying any attention to him. Everybody's got a place they don't like to be, a side they don't like to fight from, shots that aren't as good. Maybe they don't have a good cross. Okay, if I know that if I see the guy fight 3 or 4 guys, and he's never thrown a single cross shot, okay, not once, I go, well, okay, if he's not throwing a cross shot, I don't have to protect this side as much. He might throw one, but it's not as likely. Okay, so you've got the option of working off left, right, and either side. Watch your opponents and work your legs so that you can be springy. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Anything specific you want to see? Yeah.
If somebody's going to close you quick and fast, earlier you were talking about your spring forward. Do you find that successful at the same time?
Well, what happens if somebody springs into me? It's kind of, after a while, you develop a feel. Even if he comes in when I come in and we go in together, I can stick this out right ahead of me, where I'm here, and block it. And this is stronger than the shield.
My question is, do you sidestep and let him come?
Oh, yeah. If I know he likes to jump forward, if he tries to jump, I'll slide out. There are 8 lines of force. We have 8 lines of force. You make an X, then make a second X through it. Gives you 8 lines, 8 directions to travel. And those are the only 8 directions a human being can move in when they're fighting. It's straight up, doesn't really get you much, and it's hard to go straight down. So I can either go up and back, I can go back at an angle, I can go back at an angle, I can shift to this angle, or I can shift to that angle. You have 8 ways you can go, 8 directions, or you can go straight side to side. From here I can just go straight to the side, or straight to the side the other way. So you use those lines of force, and that's why you want to watch a guy. If you see a shield guy that likes to spring in, okay, and likes to do that, what you want to do is learn to use one of the other lines. So if he's real aggressive and he tries to jump me, I slide out this way, and I throw this. And now I keep myself angled in this position. When his sword goes by me, all he's got to throw is going to be a back slap. There's not much else he can throw from that position. If I want to get real aggressive, he does the same thing, snaps in, I go this way. Now I'm behind him. It makes him even in a worse position. I use one of those 2 diagonal lines of force that go in either direction. So you got up, back, side to side, diagonal this way, diagonal that way. Either one will work. If he pushed in and I want to go to the other side, I can come in and go this way, here, block the one shot he might have thrown on the way in, and close to this point. So any one of those angles is going to work for you. You just got to learn how to use them and decide if you want to be mobile and you want to fight with shorter weapons, you've got to close. You can't just sit all day and wait. Sooner or later you're going to have to do something. It's going to require you closing in. Yes?
So what would you, after being a practitioner this many years, what would you say is the biggest weakness and what's the cure?
Okay, the biggest weakness I find in other people is they don't have the legs for it. They just root. They just kind of, they sit on your back. If you sit on your back leg and lean your weight like this, you have no mobility.
So being too sedentary.
You get sedentary, you can't move. So if you rock yourself back this way, like you were used to fighting sword and shield, and that's the other thing. If you're a sword and shield guy and you try to fight Florentine, you need to switch hands for certain. You need to switch hands. Because what's going to happen to you, if you fight Florentine and you're a sword and shield guy and right-handed, you're going to fight like this. And you're going to use this as a shield. This will never attack. So I've never seen a guy using this as a shield attack well. It just winds up becoming a static blocker and they fight sword and shield, but instead of a shield, now they got a stick. Doesn't do them the good. And they'll fight with the same footwork. The footwork for Florentine has to be more mobile. You have to be willing to move up and back, side to side, round and round, and not be afraid to run in on somebody and chase. You just got to be able. You got to have legs, and you've got to be willing to go on either side with your weapons. You can't forward up and use this as a shield because it's not. And you can't have a defense like a blocker where you're just going to stand like this. Okay, you can do that, but what attack do you have from here? Okay, where's my attack? I've got this, and I've got that. Not very powerful attacks. And it does kind of tie you up. If you manage to throw something down the center into that X, now you're kind of stuck. You'll have to learn how to do the peel and strike. Most people don't do that, so you wind up getting stuck, or he jams you with a shield, and both your weapons now are back. Never hold your weapons in the same line. High and low. If I throw this one up, this one comes down. When I bring this one back up, this will either come far back or down. I never fight with him here, like this, because if I do, he presses me, I've lost both swords. Now I have nothing. Got no protection at all. At least if the shield gets pressed, the shield is in your way. It's big, you got to go around it. With the stick, you don't have that. If you press the sticks back, you have no defense now at all. So you've got to remember to keep them completely separated at all times, as much as you can.
How would you change this up if you're fighting with Florentine?
Okay, that's the ugliest fight there is on earth. Okay, I will be the first to tell you, two Florentine guys is as ugly as it gets because now you've got 4 sticks flying, and it's a mess. So I keep my same position, and all I try to do is either wait. I try to watch the guy and see what he fights with. A lot of Florentine guys only have one hand. They only have one good hand. The other one doesn't usually work well. Not a lot of guys that I've fought over the years have 2 really good hands. Now he does. If he wants to fight Florentine, I've seen him do it years ago. He can fight Florentine better than his sword and shield. He really can. He's got both hands that work. Okay, he's got both hands that work. If one hand works, when I watch a guy and I see these fighting Florentine, and he's just mostly doing this, and occasionally throws a block, I'm going to attack the weak side. I'm going to attack this front stick and slide off his back to keep away from the back hand. If both sticks work, it's whoever moves the fastest and climbs in best, and it's going to just be one of these, bah, 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 and everybody gets hit with sticks, and you got to figure out who got hit first. That's usually what happens. Everybody throws sticks, both people get hit, and you got to figure out who hit first. It's just an ugly fight, but they're fun. It's just ugly because everybody's flying. When you see 4 sticks moving, it's hard to pick out sometimes which one hit first. If you get a nice, lucky, clean shot, one guy just dives in, bam, makes hit, fine. But otherwise, you're both blocking and throwing. It's a toss-up. But I still like to maintain my position. I stand kind of narrow, and I like to stand here. So the center line is covered, and my blocks can be very small. I don't have to make blocks out there. My block to my head is just this. A hip turn blocks my head. I don't have to make reaching movements, because when you reach out, I created another whole gap. I created a void to be struck. So I keep everything in tight, and it's got to get past my front, those sticks. Turn, 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 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all you need. Anything else, you don't have to worry about. You can stop it with your sticks by not moving your body very much, and it saves energy for later. Because you're going to need your energy to attack. So I try to save my energy on defense, and then throw everything else in my attack.
I'm sure everybody has a lot of questions for His Grace. One of the things we're going to run into with this is that we've got such experienced, talented instructors that there's just not going to be enough time to learn everything from them that you want to. So if there's more that you want to learn from Duke Erin, and there should be, then I recommend getting with Duke Erin and any of these other instructors. It's a great opportunity for all the fighters.